Hi, I'm Oakland County Commissioner John Scott, and welcome to Inside Oakland County. You know, as the name implies, this show will bring you a behind-the-scenes look at your county government. In this episode, we'll explore the inner workings of the Oakland County Board of Commissioners. Later in the episode, we're going to take a look at one of Oakland County's hidden gems, Groveland Oaks County Park. You know, when I first ran for office, the number one question I heard was, what does a county commissioner do? To accurately answer that question, we should first know what a county commissioner can't do. For instance, a county commissioner can't hire or fire people. We don't have the power to arrest people. We can't send you to jail. The only real power a county commissioner has is the power of the purse strings. A county commissioner's number one duty is to control the spending of the taxpayers' dollars. For example, at a future Board of Commissioners meeting, County Executive L. Brooks Patterson and his staff will present to the board a proposed budget for fiscal years 2015 through 2017. The budget will look like this. This happens to be one from last year. As you can see, it's very thick and has a lot of details in it. What happens after we get this budget and explanation from the county exec, we then will go and conduct what are called budget hearings. Those will take place in July and in August. And what happens at those budget hearings, usually in a finance committee, is the various department heads, whether they be the 6 county-wide electeds from the county executive, the prosecutor, the clerk, the sheriff, the treasurer, or the drain commission, we'll have them come in, plus other departments, to explain what they have in their budget, and we may have questions on what are they doing and why are they spending money on this, or what are they going to do on that, and what it's all about. In the end, we will then make adjustments, we'll amend the budget if necessary, and then at our meeting in September, we will adopt the budget. At that meeting, that will take place just before October 1st, because our fiscal years begin on October 1. You know, in addition to adopting the annual county budget and the long-range capital improvement programs, we also establish and formulate county policies. We establish the annual county property tax millage rate, which right now is at 4.19 mills. It has been that way since the day I got elected in 2002, and it's been that prior to then. We have the lowest property millage rate in the state of Michigan. We also adopt ordinances and rules. We adopt the county development plans. We adopt and enforce rules establishing the authority, duties, and responsibilities of county departments and offices. Now, how do we do this, you might ask? This is all accomplished via the committee process. You know, we have 5 standing committees. We have finance, public services, human resources, general government, and planning and building. Finance, as the name states, works with all the things that deal with the county finances. The Public Services Committee has to deal with the administration of our animal control, the MSU extensions, the Veteran Services, the Circuit Court Probations Department, the Circuit and District Courts, all law enforcement relating to the Sheriff's Office, the Medical Examiner, and the Prosecuting Attorney all go through the Public Services Committee. Our Human Resources Committee deals with all things that pertain to the employees and the retirees. For example, during our budget hearings this year, we will be establishing the pay rates for all county employees up to and including the elected officials. If you go back in time, our county employees, not only did they not get pay raises, they experienced a 4.5% pay reduction. Well, business market has gotten better. Property values are rising slightly, and this year we're going to be able to hopefully offer our county employees a 3% raise. The other neat thing about the Human Resources Committee and these pay raises, we also established the pay for the next year for all elected officials. In fact, for county commissioners for the next 2 years. The General Government Committee establishes board rules. They recommend to the full board the committee chairpersons and the membership of those committees. All other appointments they do for authorities, places like SEMCOG, various commissions from the Parks and Rec Commission, and then our other various committees. General government is also the liaison with all federal, state, and regional and local agencies and governments. They also make recommendations to the full board on proposed legislation affecting Oakland County. For instance, we will contact our friends in the legislature and tell them whether a bill that they're looking at can adversely affect Oakland County and lobby them to possibly make a change to it. At the same token, we make recommendations to the legislatures what we would like to see in legislation that would help the counties. You know, we have a planning and building committee, and those guys develop the 5-year capital improvement programs we have on our properties. 3 members of that committee also act as county coordinating zoning committee members. The committee members also will inspect and provide for the maintenance and improvement of county-owned buildings and facilities. Biannually, they will review all county-owned properties and recommend retention or disposal. They oversee the purchase, the sale, or the lease of properties and facilities, as well as building alterations. In addition to the 5 standing committees, commissioners sit on various boards and authorities. For example, I'm the chairman of the Sanitary Code Appeals Board. That board in itself deals with properties where they have septic tanks and wells. Normally, if a person's septic tank has failed on their property, to just replace it, it's not going to work. They won't meet the code as we have it. Normally, that person will end up having to purchase what's called a engineered field. It's a more expensive way. Even then, it won't meet our board rules, but it doesn't meet the code. But it's better than what they had, so it will usually be approved by that board. We also have a committee called the Personnel Appeals Board. I sit on that committee, and what that is, that deals with discipline issues that we may have with our employees. For instance, all of our employees are considered merit rule employees, and in the merit rules, they have the ability to appeal to this committee any discipline, whether it be oral, written, let's see, they get the suspensions and dismissals. When they get to be the larger ones, like dismissals, those are kind of a long meeting. In front of our 3-board panel, they will present their case. The county will present their case. Normally, lawyers are involved with that one, so it gets rather involved, and then we will determine whether the discipline was just. You know, I'm fortunate enough to sit on the airport committee, and that's an exciting committee. In that committee, the first thing we do is we approve grants, usually from the FAA via the state of Michigan. Dave Vanderveen, one of our people at Central Services who works under Brooks, does a great job of getting us the money to improve the airport whenever we can. If you've been by there lately, you'll see a new terminal. In future shows, we hope to go out there and explain to you more about what that is. You also see a lot of hangars out there. Now, those hangars are leased from the county, and this committee will meet to approve those leases. I'm also vice chairman of the Food Services Appeals Board. This is not what we would call an appetizing committee to sit on. Basically, our health department visits the restaurants. They're with our sanitarians, and when they see violations or mistakes or problems, they will work with the restaurant to help improve it and make changes. What happens is if they have to keep going out there consistently and nobody listens, then they bring their case to our committee, which we will review and determine whether or not that restaurant gets shut down. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, we have shut down restaurants in Oakland County because they have been true health hazards. A fun committee I'm on, and I'm secretary of, is the Oakland County Parks and Recreation Committee. The Board of Commissioners will appoint 3 people to the Parks and Rec Commission, who then will sit there with other people. For instance, we have members from the County Executive's Office, the Drain Commission's represented, and there are citizen appointees. These are all really good parks people that we have on there right now, and I'm fortunate enough to be the secretary of that. You know, if you really want to find out more about Oakland County, check out our Oakland County website. It's oakgov.com. You know, we're going to take a short break here, so don't go away. You're watching Inside Oakland County.